I didn't want to be me. And that desire that I had was the cause of every difficulty, every challenge, every horrible thing that I experienced in my life came because I didn't want to be me. And I would say that probably the difficulties that you're experiencing in your life or have experienced are for the same reason. I can remember reading this book. I've told her about this. Anita Morjani wrote a book called Dying to Be Me, where she talked about her near-death experience and where she came to this realization that this was happening because she couldn't break out of where she was, her old life and all of that, and she comes back and she does this wonderful work. And I told her, I said, that really inspired me. While she was trying to become herself, I was actively running from myself. I was like, no, I am not going to be this person. I don't want to be me. This is what went on my entire life. Because I could remember, when we were children, I went to school, I went to Sunday school even, and everyone said, you could be whatever you want. You have all the potential. You can do all of these things. And it didn't happen. I thought they were lying to me. Why isn't this happening? And I would look at everyone else and I would see they were going about doing their lives, becoming successful, and I'm still sitting here and I'm going, what is happening? That's what I did. And I said, I know, but I'm not going to do it. That's really what happened. I know what it is, but I'm not going to do it because I'm too afraid. I don't want people to know who I am. So let me just kind of hide it. Let me put it away, and then let me allow my life to be miserable. See, because when you don't own who you are, you can put yourself in all kinds of horrible things. I had terrible relationships because I didn't know who I was. I wasn't going to admit that. I wasn't going to be myself. So, of course, I wasn't going to attract a relationship that would reflect who I was. Simple science. Really, that's what happens. Then I would have particular jobs that I would do, and I said, I don't want to be here. And then I would have all these physical symptoms and diseases and things that would pop up because I'm not wanting to be myself, but I'll do this job because I need to have money. And a lot of us do that. Or we'll stay in a relationship forever because it feels safe, even though it's miserable, but we don't want to do anything that we don't know. We don't want to go into some unknown parts of ourselves, so let's just stay here. And I did that too, because it was just too difficult to be me. But I'm not doing that anymore because now I'm an authenticity coach, meaning that I want to guide everyone to becoming exactly who they're meant to be. Every single person is born with whatever they needed to live a successful life. That's what it is. And because I didn't figure that out, I have figured out a plan to get everyone else there. That's what I did. Because I know what it is. You can't look at your life and think that there's something that has not been given you where you could create something magnificent and live a glorious life. It's not possible. It's just that you're not willing to change your mind. That's all that it is. We live in our thinking. We perceive that way. We create that way as well. If we're creating certain things in our lives over and over again, it means because we're thinking about them that way over and over again. We don't end up in accidental places. And if you think that you've been ending up in that same relationship over and over again and it's always terrible, yeah, someone's trying to tell you, change. Do something different. Be a different person because this is not working for you anymore. We all have that. We have a plan that we're meant to follow that would give us everything that we want, and it's within us, and we can't get there unless we're willing to go on a journey of self-discovery, find out what that is, and decide to own it. And that's what I had to do, and that's what I'm doing now, and that's what I'm going to do with all of the clients that I'm working with. And I was coming up to this because I wanted to talk about, well, what's happening in the world? And as I couldn't tell people that because then I would have to be me. You see, I couldn't tell them because the information has come to me. This is the part that I just kept hidden from everyone. But I receive information and I know what's happening and I know where we're going in our world and where we could take it if we decide to own who we are. Because it's not done yet. We're moving through a great change in our world, and it means that it's going to be a great change within us. And the way that we get through this, or move it, or help it, is by deciding to love who we are. And you cannot disown any part of you to get to self-actualization. You see, because then you don't understand that everything you were given was perfect. And that's the work that I do, and that's what I guide people through. But it's a process, because we have to change your brain first. I had to change my brain. I had to allow it to settle. I had to allow myself to live in that new experience of who I am, because we're new all the time. It's not possible for you to be the same person that you were yesterday. It isn't, because you've had more experience. We live our lives to have experience. As we have the experience, then we gain information and wisdom. Then we're supposed to look at it, figure out what we've gained from it, and then make it valuable. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I created my program. See, because it's nothing more than you changing your mind, and it's just a process. I mean, I could tell you that it could be all of these other things, because I've done them all. I've done so many. I've done program after program, coach after coach, mentor after mentor, and all that stuff. And I go, wait a minute, it's all the same thing. That's why I call mine your last development program, because it's all the same thing. You're going to listen to someone, give you some information that will awaken something within you, because you have it all. You know everything. You're just not willing to look at it, just like me. But then you hear someone like me speaking about it, and you say, oh yeah, that's me. Now I can maybe do that. And then now you're forming a little bit more belief. And then you live in that for a while, and then you do some more. And you keep growing in that when you become this empowered, unstoppable person. I'm saying that because that's what happened to me as I did my own work. That's what happens, and that's why I'm giving it to everyone else, because this period that we're going to be moving through, you're going to need to know who you are and love yourself and become empowered. You can see what's happening. We're going to have splits and divisions and anger and all of that for a little while, because we're not wanting to change. So you have to decide, well, I'm going to change so that I can be strong and confident and empowered within myself, and then I help change the world too. See, because then that's a different energy that you're putting into the world instead of being frightened. And that's the work that I'm going to do. That's the work of my coaching and my program and everything that I am devoting my life to now, because I never want to see anyone not want to be who they are, because who you are is perfect. You just haven't figured that out yet. That's all. And that's what I can do and what I see. It's not possible for me to see any imperfection in anyone that I work with. It's just not possible. And my clients will tell you that, because I can see things that they haven't been willing to accept or get yet, but I just know that with time they will. And that's all that it takes. A willingness and time. That's it. But do something for yourself during this period, because you want to become who you were meant to be, and you want to love that person, because it is perfect, because you are perfect.